What message did you take out of the Bengals win over the Chiefs, if any?
I'm just amazed at how far this group's come. Like, I think now, okay, last year they were a team that got better as the year went on, right? And they didn't have a reputation to fall back on, so they kind of snuck up on people. Well, this year, defending AFC champs, the whole thing, people are writing it off to a Super Bowl hangover. Maybe people are writing it off to a flash in the pan type thing. But when you do this year after year and you improve through the year, like you're building something. That means you've got like a decent program in place. That means you've got, kind of a team chemistry, a leadership about you. Like obviously you have a great quarterback. The Patriots always pride themselves in getting better as the year progresses and like being able to morph and beat teams in different ways. And I feel like the Bengals are really impressive. Like not only what they did last week, which surprised some people, the physicality with which that offensive line played, because that was the unit that we were like, oh, the whole year hinges on these guys playing well. The whole point is to try to stop getting Joe Burrow killed, and it was like they whiffed early in the season. You were like, damn, they just whiffed. But if you look at them the last two weeks, they've been dominant. I mean, Piron had 40 yards in the first quarter, and it wasn't like he had a 30-yard run or something and then a bunch of 2-3-yard runs. They were chunks. They were like 5, 7, 11 yards. And they don't even have Joe Mixon right now, and they were moving the ball behind the left side of that line. And when you have a quarterback like Joe Burrow, who's just like, it's a total Grim Reaper moment for him, 3rd and 11 late in that ball game. I mean, not to mention getting to 3rd and 11, like the pocket mobility with which he plays right now. He reminds me of Brady, the way he moves around in the pocket.
Yeah.
He always has, but he's actually more athletic. Snead had him dead to rights on like 2nd and 7 or something, and he should be sacked for a 7-yard loss that last drive where they're trying to put them away. Instead, he's able to find time and make it 3rd and manageable. And there's so many plays in that game that Joe, just a little subtle movement in that pocket before he delivers a strike is the difference. So when you got the run game going, you have physical offensive line. Higgins has stepped up like a number one. Chase is back. You're going to give Joe Mixon back. And I haven't even mentioned the defense. Like there were 2 spots in that game, not just to mention DJ Reader and Hill stepping up early, but there was a chance late for the Chiefs to go get 6, and it was 3rd down, low red. And Trey Hendrickson just blows by, and he's got a pressure. He's a free run at Mahomes, who just burns it out of the back of the end zone. Okay, that's a 4-point play. And then late, not only does Hendrickson pressure him on 1st and 10 late in that ball game, I think it's 27-24, and Chiefs are trying to tie it in the drive, and they're in Bengals territory. But 3rd down, they rush 3, which frustrates Patrick Mahomes, right? They actually sack him. I think Osai beats Brown, and they're just the edge rushers, the guys inside, whether it's the back-end guys coming down and adding to the run game, hitting people, Von Bell, Hilton, like they're just a really complete defense, and they can play different coverages. They drop back and rush 3. Mahomes got frustrated. They had 2 guys downfield in the same play, blocking downfield. Like they're really well-rounded, and the offensive line was the piece that was missing, and now they got it. Because, like, now it doesn't feel like that's a liability. It actually feels like it's a strength. They barely hit Joe Burrow yesterday.
I do love what I'm seeing in Cincinnati, and, Buffalo and Kansas City are still it as well. You had to put your marker on one of them for the last 5 weeks. Who do you put your marker on, Chris?
My Super Bowl pick to start the season was Buffalo, and I'll stick with them. I just think they have more offensively, even though there's a thin line between, having a dynamic offense there in Buffalo and not. Diggs just makes such a big difference, and I think that defense is so dominant when everybody's healthy. I feel like the cream's going to rise to the top there, and the cream's rising to the top this weekend, right? Like, the 3 guys in the AFC that everybody was talking about before the season, Burrow, Mahomes, Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Bills woke up in 5th place. They wake up today in 1st place. Mahomes is going to be just fine, right? And Burrow's now, in the conversation for the MVP. So, like, the cream is rising to the top with some of these quarterbacks. and the teams that they quarterback. And I think that's going to be the case with the Bills. Josh had a real slump, and he's just hopefully coming out of it in the middle of the season. I like Buffalo to finish strong.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.